Hi, my name is Mike Marron. I'm the Village Administrator for the Village of Glendale Heights, and I want to welcome you to another session of a Fireside Chat with Mayor Linda Jackson. The situation that has been going on in the country certainly needs to be acknowledged. The protests, the anger that has been expressed due to the tragic killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, Minnesota, has been heard not only in this community, but across the country. Obviously, there's going to be many discussions that are had regarding the changes that are needed in policing, and we will have those discussions with Mayor Jackson and our police chief, Doug Flint, at a later time, when it becomes more clear exactly the direction that policing is taking. In the meantime, there are a lot of questions that have come up for Mayor Jackson in the village in regards to what's happening in the more immediate future with the recreation abilities for the village this year due to COVID-19. And so I want to take this opportunity now to talk with Mayor Jackson about some of the things that we have coming up in the very near future. Our board meetings have been abbreviated. We have not had community announcements. And so the mayor wanted to make sure that all of our residents know exactly what is coming up this summer. Mayor Jackson.
Yes.
So the very first thing that we have coming up in the very near future, as we sit here today on June 9th, is the food distribution that we have.
Yes, we do. We have a food distribution on June 13th between 9:30 and 1 p.m. at Camera Park. And it's in conjunction with a lot of different groups, and especially with the 4 food pantries in the area that use the Northern Illinois Food Depository. We're planning on possibly being able to feed about 1,000 families, which, because of COVID-19 and things being shut down, people out of work, there's a lot of people in need right now, and we're hoping to take care of that.
Very good. So that it's a first come, first serve situation?
Yes.
Okay.
First come, first serve.
But it does look like we're going to have quite a bit of food that's available. I know we've been preparing for this for a couple of weeks now. Some of the farm-to-table programs are participating, correct?
Right. And there have just been so many people and establishments that have been so generous that I think a lot of people will be happy and taken care of, at least for a little while.
Certainly is turning into quite a community event
yes,
for everyone in the community to come out and help. I know we're still signing up volunteers, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. I know the last time I looked it was pretty full, but 1,000 families.
You could never have too many.
Right. Many hands make light work.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of preparation this week and then the actual day of the event.
Correct.
Very good.
Okay.
So the phase 3 of the Governor's Restore Illinois plan has allowed for restaurants to open for outdoor dining. How are we doing with that in Glendale Heights?
Actually, the regulations for it did not come out all at the same time as he said they could open. So as soon as we got what the regulations would be, we contacted all of our restaurants and bars in town to see if they'd be interested and offered to work with them to put tables outside, help them mark it off, put up barricades where they needed them for safety, and relaxed our permitting to the fact that we went actually right out on scene and worked with each and every one of them that wanted to do this so that they could start getting back on their feet. And from what I've heard, they're pretty happy.
Looks like it. When you drive around, you see a lot of people out, so that's good.
Yes. Yes.
So, is there a place that our residents might be able to find who's open in town?
If you go on our website, we have a list of all the establishments that are open for outside dining.
Great. So that www.glendaleheights.org.
That's it.
Yep. And should be able to navigate through there to find that the outdoor dining in Glendale Heights. Very good. So
Perfect.
also with Phase 3 has come the ability for day camp to open back up. Again, another one of those situations where Phase 3 happened, and a week or a week and a half later, we received the guidelines on how to do this. But nonetheless, we have the guidelines in place, and Essential Day Camp is here.
Yes. It's not like our regular day camp because of all the regulations the state has put on it. And you would think that when they're handing out and saying that you're going to be able to have this, that they would have already had the guidelines in your hand.
It would be helpful.
But it's not how it's been going. So there will be limited number of kids in the class. They'll be with the same counselor every day, same group of kids, groups of 10 or less. And unfortunately, they don't get to do the field trips and a lot of the fun stuff they had. But we're going to try and make it as much fun as we possibly can.
Absolutely. So some of the safety guidelines that are going into place, you mentioned that there's going to be one staff member per class.
Right. Temperature checks and face masks.
Right.
And what else?
So, and
What else?
Social distancing that they're going to be required, which is why it's such a limited number of people.
And it's so hard for kids to maintain social
Absolutely.
distance. They want to play.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but we are definitely trying to make it as fun as we can for the kids, because some of them, that's the only alternative. So we'd like them to enjoy it.
Yeah. And the plan is, right now, we're going to take that for the 2 weeks to the end of Phase 3, because
Correct.
Phase 4 will bring changes.
But we don't know what they are yet.
But we don't know what they are yet. So we're hoping to get some additional guidance on that before we actually go to Phase 4, so that we can plan appropriately.
Correct.
But
It's very hard on staff to try and figure out, well, what if, or if we can do this, we can have it this way. But if we can't, we got to have it this way. It's like double planning of everything.
Yes. And we have been.
Yep, we have.
It's still hard to plan for every
A
eventuality.
lot of creativity coming out of this.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And going along with that concept of not really knowing what's going to happen next, we have the pool. Now, you have not given up on being able to open this pool this year, when
Nope.
so many others have. But we received new guidelines on the late afternoon of Friday,
The 5th.
June 5th.
Yep.
As to what we're going to be looking at, be able to open the pool.
Correct. And so we planned to do that, and then on my mayors and managers call this morning, I was told that no, that the state isn't allowing it. But through some checking, we found out, yes, they are. But we're limited to, I believe, swim lessons, lap swimming, therapeutic water things, and diving.
And swim team practice
And
as well.
swim team practice.
Yep. Yeah. So
it's not the whole thing, but it's a start. I want the kids to be able to enjoy something this summer, so maybe if nothing else, everybody can take swim lessons.
well, that would be something. It's
I
a
know.
start.
And I'm hoping we can open on a bigger scale soon.
Well, and again, that phase 4, which is the soonest we can go to that, is June 26th. But as of yet, we're not sure what that will reflect in the pool.
No.
It may be reduced capacity is one of the things that's been talked about.
I just would have thought that for phase 4, this is where you're going and this is what you can and can't do. So that people could plan ahead. So that, I mean, when it comes to having the pool, you've got to have enough lifeguards. You've got to have a certain number to cover the entire area. Right. And
your lifeguards
it's hard to plan.
They have to be trained.
They have to be trained, and you can't hire them if you don't know if you're going to have a pool open.
Right.
But at least now we know we will have limited access to the pool. And hopefully in 2 weeks it'll be expanded.
Right. And so because we didn't know what Restore Illinois was going to bring for the pool, there's still no water in the pool.
I know.
Well, we did start filling it today.
I know.
And that does take a little time to get filled, get our lifeguards in, get trained. But once that all happens, we'll get moving.
I mean, in all fairness, we didn't want to waste money filling the pool and then find out that you can't utilize it at all.
Right.
But unfortunately, now it's going to take extra time. But we did the fiscally responsible thing to do, and that was hold off.
It's
instead of wasting water resources to...
Yeah, we could very well have learned that they weren't going to allow pools to open this year. So, but now we know, and now we can react to that and move forward. So,
and we'll also make that as nice as we can for everyone.
Certainly. We'll adapt and overcome, Mayor. Golf. One of the reasons that we're sitting here today was to talk about golf, and that is one of the things that has opened, although not all the way, but part of the way, enough that a day like today, if you can dodge the raindrops, can be enjoyed.
That's true. Even though I'm not a golfer at all, but there are a lot of people that love it, and it's good exercise, and I'm glad that they're able to go out and enjoy themselves. So now, if they would open up the rest of the sports for the kids and stuff, I'd be even happier.
That would be great. We're getting slowly to that point, but
I know.
It's taking a little bit of time.
No, it's not our fault.
Right.
We're not making the rules. We just have to abide by them, and sometimes that's not easy.
Right. So as far as golf goes, I know in May we started out with just twosomes.
Correct.
And we could only put 8 people out an hour.
Now we can have foursomes and put 8 times.
We can get them out between as much as 10 minutes
10
apart.
minutes apart. Compared to, what was it, 15?
It was 15. But here at Glendale Lakes, we've kind of alternated between 15 and 12 so that we can make sure everybody can get a golf cart.
Correct.
Because only single riders in golf carts.
I know.
So it does make for a quicker pace of play, though. We have to look at the positives.
You're right. But if 2 people ride together here in a car, but can't ride in the same cart on the course, oh well.
Yes, Mayor.
We're going to get there. Not everything makes sense.
Not always.
Yeah.
Not always. So, but there are plenty of tee times. There's tee times available, but we definitely encourage people to make reservations because they do go fast.
I do believe you have to make reservations because there are no walk-ups, correct? Or has that changed?
That's changed a little bit, but reservations are almost a must because other than
availability.
Today, I believe we're almost filled just coming up for this weekend. We're filling up every tee time for the weekend. Yeah.
Which is great.
So It brings us to the topic of probably the saddest part of the summer activities in Glendale Heights this year. And I know you talked a little bit about it at a board meeting, but if you wanted to expound upon that.
And Summerfest.
Glendale Heights Fest, of course. Summerfest happens in Milwaukee. We have to make sure that we give Milwaukee their due on Summerfest.
Glendale Heights Fest, commonly known as Summerfest. Yeah, we held off as long as we could, hoping that things would come around to where you could have crowds together and yet still be safe. And unfortunately, the time crunch has made us have to cancel it for this year. However, when we met with the carnival provider, we discussed possibly having a smaller event somewhere near the end of August. Hopefully. But that's still going to depend on where we're at with the guidelines from the state.
Right.
So it was very difficult. I know I've seen some things. Well, I hope they have the fireworks anyway. Unfortunately, and I'm not sure people realize it, but the fireworks are paid for through money we get from vendors and from the carnival when we have fest. So it's not something that you could just do if you have nothing coming in on it. But we'll somehow fit some sort of fireworks in at some event this year. Not sure when or where, but we will make sure that people know. I mean, it's a hard thing. And I know families look forward to it, kids look forward to it. And unfortunately, it is very much out of our control at this point. But we still have that little sliver of hope out there.
Yeah, we keep hoping against hope.
Hey, it worked a little for the pool, so you never know.
Exactly what I was going to say, Mary. It worked for the pool, and if you don't have hope, what do you have, right?
You got it.
One of the other activities that I think our residents look forward to are the park parties.
Which are always nice because the police department, fire department, the village, we all get to interact with the residents in their backyards. And I think people have come to enjoy them. We've had them for, oh my gosh, 15 years now, or?
Well, I would go with at least 10, Mayor. So
it's at least 10.
I never liked
After Greenbrier Park was built, that was the first time we had a party in the park and thought that worked out so well that we decided to try them at different area parks. But it was the grand opening of Greenbrier, and shame on me, I can't remember what year that was.
I cannot either.
Park parties have been a big success with residents. Kids come, they can have fun, they can dance, they can play some games. But right now they're kind of on hold too until we find out whatever restrictions are going to be in Phase 4.
Yeah, the Phase 4 guidance really is what's going to guide that, because
exactly,
and that we'll be able to put that together rather quickly if we find that we can have them, and it's just going to be a matter.
Our staff does a great job, and park parties they're very used to last minute put together and take apart.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
And a lot of them volunteer their time to cook or serve.
Yes.
And it's nice.
That's a great opportunity to get out and meet the residents, as you said, in essentially their backyards.
Right. And we're available for them to ask any questions at any time. which I know it's frustrating. A lot of people don't feel they know enough about what's going on, but things now are changing day to day, hour to hour. It's real hard to let everybody know, but we do put it on our webpage. It's on social media. If you ever have questions, you can call the village, you can call my office, and we'll answer your questions. We'd be happy to. And unfortunately, we're at the same spot with Coffee with the Mayor and Board, which is part of the reason we're doing this, because
Right.
people, right now, we haven't been able to meet to have coffee with the mayor and board, but we always had people there
Yes.
asking questions, and that was very beneficial both to them and to us, so that we know what issues people do have.
Well, and hopefully in phase 4 we'll get there again.
I hope so.
Very good. So, Mayor, I know you mentioned earlier about meeting with the DuPage mayors and managers.
I probably am on 3 to 4 Zoom conference calls a day between DuPage mayors and managers, U.S. Conference of Mayors, Metropolitan Mayors Caucus, the Illinois Department of Health. We're also on with, we're meeting, in fact, tomorrow with our county board members and the Wheaton and Glen Ellen mayor and manager. The Illinois Municipal League. I mean, it is just tons and tons of information. And unfortunately, it's very hard to turn around and get that out to everybody.
Yeah. A lot of information sharing between all of the different agencies. Yeah.
A lot. And it's nice to hear what other mayors, other towns are doing to try and make things work through this COVID issue. And to get some good ideas.
Absolutely. Hey. Well.
And I know you're on a lot of those calls too, so.
Just a couple.
Yeah.
Just a couple. So, and if anyone doesn't know, our Village Hall is open for regular business right now.
Correct.
We have extended the expiration date for village stickers.
Correct, to July 31st, correct?
Correct. So you have a little bit of extra time to get your village sticker. Again,
Correct.
Through July 31st. Our Village Hall will be open for limited hours on Saturdays in July. I believe it's 9 to noon on Saturdays in July in order to get to that point to get your village stickers. Quite a lot of things have been...
Hopefully we're going to go back to normal board meetings.
Yes.
Starting on June 25th.
25th, yes. So that'll be nice to have in-person board meetings.
Yes.
As some that have watched
very nice.
have probably noticed the technological nightmares that have occurred during some of our Zoom board meetings. I think it took us to the last one.
It'd be nice just to be able to see people again.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
talk to people instead of...
Absolutely.
Through electronics.
Yes.
But any questions from any residents, any businesses, anyone, please feel free to direct them to us at any time. And we'll make sure you get the answers, the best answer we have at that time. But please don't ever think that because of all this we're not available to you. We are. We're just not as visible as we've been able to be in the past.
All right, we're very good. Mary Jackson, thank you very much for the time today.
Thank you, Mike.
Again, this has been another segment of our Fireside Chats.
Without the
remote from the golf
fireside.
course. That's right. Thank you very much.